Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The rarely seen double Olympic bronze medalist Ivan Dychko has returned for what seems like his annual fight, getting a second round stoppage against Craig Lewis on a ProBox card. So this was a pretty good performance for the 34-year-old who has absolutely been rotting on the vine in recent years. Now 14-0, he gets the second round stoppage, and I think some people might say the stoppage was a little bit soft, but I don't think Craig Lewis helped himself. So what we'll do, we'll talk about the action briefly, and then a potential what next, because Ivan Dychko needs to get moving and do something with his career. Otherwise, he is just going to be a complete wasted talent. So this fight with Lewis, who has been in the past, but I think he's a faded journeyman now. You know, he has been durable, but he didn't look so durable in this one. But the first round, it really was that sort of classic feeling out round. Ivan Dychko trying to get the range, and you had Craig Lewis trying to throw right hands and falling short. Ivan Dychko using the jab to the body, and there was the odd right hand. But it was round two where he started to put the foot down. Lewis had started to tire a little bit, wasn't moving as much, and Ivan Dychko starting to sit down on his punches, and the right hand lands. Big right hand rocks Craig Lewis. He loses his mouthguard, and besides his durability, the other thing that he seems to have lost in recent years is his teeth. So he apparently doesn't have any teeth. The mouthguard came out. The referee got it washed off in the corner. Then after that, you had a big right hand from Dychko, absolutely rocking Lewis, who's staggering backwards, and he gets caught with the left hook, which sends him careening into the ropes. The ropes catch him, but it is adjudged a knockdown. And you have the count being administered by the referee. Mouthguard again comes out, a stern warning from the referee saying, look, that's it, no more. And shortly after, a big right hand staggers Lewis, and the referee waves it off. So I think we can say this was going all downhill in all one direction, but it did seem slightly maybe premature. But I think the referee, with what he was seeing, with the body language and obviously the reactions to the shots and the spitting out of the mouthpiece, had said, nope, I've seen enough. And Ivan Dychko gets the win here, advances to 14-0, and he looks to put a little bit of life back into his career, breathe a little something into it, because it is flat as a pancake at the moment. The last 2 years he's only fought once a year, and that was on those WBA events out in South America, pretty much out of sight, out of mind, those KO to drugs events, where he fought journeyman Ariel Esteban Bracamonte and Kevin Nicolas Espindola. Espindola, good for rounds, but he's just not fighting enough. Either he needs to sack off his management or get, a co-promotional deal to get something going. Hopefully with this debut here on ProBox, which will match him, I think, better than he's been matched in recent times. This was an introductory type fight. It was not a 50-50. ProBox generally likes to have really sort of close as they can matchmaking, because obviously fans actually want that. It may not be at the highest level, but you have guys who are seemingly well pitted against each other. Generally, this was maybe not that, and I think Lewis, who actually you have to say, who's fallen to 15-8 with one stoppage. This is only the second time that Lewis had been stopped. He's obviously lost 8 times, but he's only actually won one fight since 2017. He's actually got a whole slew of losses to the likes of Junior Farr, Jermaine Franklin, Carlos Takam, Zhang Jilei, Ronnie Hines, and Jeremiah Milton. Now Ivan Dychko. So you have to say that I think his durability has been diminishing. Now 39, he's not what he once was in terms of the resistance he could offer, but still, Ivan Dychko, the Kazakh fighter, 34 years old, didn't waste time, and he got into his work well in that second round, and he did what he needed to do. So, and one of the other interesting things, or 2 points I'll make before getting on to the what next, he was measured ahead of this fight. So he's been long reported as 6'9", but he was reported in this fight, in the graphic that came up just ahead of the fight, 6'7.5". We know that sometimes these guys inflate their heights by an inch or two, and obviously that must have been the case. The ring announcer, when he announced him, did call him just a two-time Olympian. I thought that's a little bit harsh given he was a two-time Olympic bronze medalist. But I guess that's the thing, how quickly they forget, especially if you're not fighting very often, you're off the scene and out of sight, out of mind. So this fight does raise Ivan Dychko up to number 49 on BoxRec, and if he can get something going here, maybe we'll get to see how good he is. I think if he could fight again on ProBox, or at least in the United States, connect up with a bigger promoter, because I don't think what's been happening and whatever his management's been doing is not necessarily working for him. He does live and train part of the time in Florida, so he's hoping that his management can actually do something for him, because he's just rotting on the vine. That class of 2016 Olympians, when you think the likes of Joe Joyce, Philip Hrgovic, Tony Yoka, sure, some of those guys have fallen short at points, but they've been moved along much quicker, much better. They've had some big fights along the way. Sure, they might have been tipped over, but they have been testing themselves. We don't know what Ivan Dychko really has. All we know at this point, he's got good skills. He's got the potential to do something in the heavyweight division, and obviously at 6'7.5", you cannot teach height. He's a big unit with decent skills. Let's see them put to the test, because it would be a real shame if he ends up just completely just withering away, rotting on the vine, and sort of it peters out. And as it is, at 34 years old, being a big unit like that, who will have to some extent, rely on his skills as an aging fighter as he gets in the next couple of years, he really needs to hit the go button now. Otherwise, the best of him we may never see, or potentially he starts to get into big fights at a stage where the best of him is already gone. So this was at least a mark in the sand for 2024. Hopefully we see him out again soon. I don't want to say, let's see him again in 2025, but at this point in August, with his career, it'll probably be another 12 months. Anyway, what do you make of the performance? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.